Hi, I am Elizabeth Dartnell, the Executive Director of the Sexual Violence Research Initiative. The SVRI, with over 11,000 members, is the largest global network working to build knowledge to improve practices and prevent violence against women and violence against children in low and middle-income countries. Evidence and research build knowledge that is essential for finding solutions that end violence against women and children. Yet, unfortunately, when it comes to research, funding remains highly concentrated in high-income countries. We at the SVRI are unapologetically committed to addressing inequities in research funding between high-income and lower middle-income countries. And one of the key ways that we do this is through our annual grant-making program, the SVRI Research Grant. This grant-making program has been generously supported by the Wellspring Philanthropic Fund, the Oak Foundation, Swedish CEDA, the International Development Corporation of Sweden, and the second What Works to Prevent Violence Against Women and Girls project funded by the UK Aid Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office. With this grant, we support and fund innovative research in lower middle-income countries led by researchers based in lower middle-income countries to ensure that the solutions presented are locally relevant, contextually appropriate and effective in improving services and reducing violence experienced by women and children. After an extensive and a highly competitive process, this year 9 grants have been awarded. We are so excited to share with you the winners of the SVRI Research Grant for 2024. Please meet our grantees.
My name is Veronika Zinokova. I'm a researcher at Astra Foundation for Health Protection and Prevention of Violence. I work in Yerevan, Armenia. Our project is called Understanding Contextual Factors and Informing Methodological Approaches for Assessing the Prevalence and Risk Factors of Child Sexual Abuse and Exploitation in Armenia. Researching child sexual abuse and exploitation is vital for shaping effective policies and practices. But first of all, we have to ensure the validity and cultural sensitivity of the research methodology, especially in a country like Armenia, which has a unique language, culture, and history. This project will also help people in governmental organizations, NGOs, and other stakeholders to learn how to use research data. Valid and reliable research helps to adjust prevention strategies and allocate resources more efficiently.
I'm Zeina El Zaid. I'm an assistant professor of sustainable architecture and urban design at Helwan University. I'm based in Cairo, the capital city of Egypt, where our project will take place. Our project is creating safe public spaces for women in Egypt, focusing on the impact of the built environment on the perception of safety for women. Our project addresses the link between the built environment and women's safety through research and education. It focuses on how public spaces and streets can be inclusive and eventually support women participation, engagement, productivity, and economic growth. We will involve women, urban designers, architects, and students to develop a design toolkit for public spaces and streets that will support a higher sense of safety for women in cities.
My name is Gabriel Bagashau. I am a researcher at the University of Gondar. The focus of this research is on preventing technology-facilitated gender-based violence among students in Ethiopia through safety-related interventions. While the internet, social media platforms, and smartphones present rich universe of opportunities, they also expose young learners to the risks of technology-facilitated gender-based violence, such as cyberbullying, identity theft, and trolling. This research aims to build evidence on these emerging fronts of gender-based violence, which is imperative for developing policies and practices to reduce vulnerabilities to technology-facilitated gender-based violence. Our research will help advance this field by bringing forth evidence that will aid in the development of evidence-based response policies, initiatives, and services. This will ultimately lead to a safer online space for young boys and girls in their study environments or schools.
My name is Shobhini. I live and work in New Delhi. I am part of Point of View, an organization based out of Mumbai, India. I'm working on this research project with Dr. Anya Kovats. The title of our project is Unpacking the Frame, Addressing Image-Based Sexual Abuse in India. The aim of this research is to build a conceptual understanding of image-based sexual abuse that is based on the lived experiences of gender and sexual minorities in India. We want to understand how and when images become tools or acts of violence and what this violence consists of. In turn, we plan to provide concrete recommendations to policymakers, law enforcement, digital platforms, and various other stakeholders to effectively address this form of abuse. Based on this richer, contextually sensitive knowledge, a stronger cross-sectoral response can be developed to prevent image-based sexual abuse.
Je m'appelle Taïren Zarachou. Je travaille à Projet Jeunes Leaders, une organisation non gouvernementale basée à Madagascar. Notre projet s'intitule « Comprendre si et comment l'éducation complète à la sexualité est une intervention de prévention de la violence dans les écoles à Madagascar ». Nous collaborons avec des chercheurs de l'École de santé publique de l'Université de Pittsburgh pour appliquer les méthodes de conception participative et centrée sur l'humain afin de comprendre comment et pourquoi notre programme affecte les connaissances, les attitudes et les expériences des adolescents malgaches en matière de violence. Nos résultats devraient éclairer les interactions contextuelles et centrées sur les jeunes du programme de PJL au fur et à mesure de son institutionnalisation dans le système éducatif de Madagascar.
My name is Carlos Bauche. I work at ProSociedad, an NGO specialized in developing, implementing, and evaluating evidence-based models aimed at reducing different public issues such as criminal and violent behaviors. Our project is called Construyendo Relaciones, or CORE, the Intimate Partner Violence Prevention Model targeting male offenders. CORE works with men who have committed violence in their relationships, aiming to reduce the likelihood of recurrence or escalation. It focuses on developing anger management, avoiding risky situations, and make better decisions. Our research aims to assess the design and coherence of the CORE program. This will allow us to determine its potential for replication as a gender-based violence prevention initiative in other Mexican states and Latin America. The findings of this project will help generate evidence to strengthen and guide public policy on gender-based violence prevention in Mexico and Latin America. It will generate new knowledge regarding interventions targeted at male aggressors as a means to prevent violence against women.
My name is Stephen Kaindane. I am the research associate working with Site Savers in Sierra Leone. The title of our research project is Safely at School, Reducing the Risk of School-Related Gender-Based Violence for Children with Disabilities in Sierra Leone. Our research will help to describe the needs and concerns of boys and girls with disabilities regarding school-related gender-based violence and co-develop disability-inclusive response strategies. This research will document the experiences of boys and girls with disabilities, and we will collaboratively create maps illustrating places where children feel safer and vulnerable. In addition, the evidence we generate will assist district-level education officials and other stakeholders to tackle the challenging issue of school-related gender-based violence, and will provide the much-needed information to inform national policies and inclusive education practices.
My name is Jeketseng Net. I'm an associate professor and head of the Division of Disability and Rehabilitation Studies at Stellenbosch University. The focus of our project is on gender-based violence and digital technology. We're focusing on how technologies variously promote, increase, and enable violence against women with disabilities. Our research is important because it explores the intersection of disability and technology-facilitated gender-based violence. It is also important because we're looking into how the same technologies that put people at risk could also enable spaces for women with disabilities to protect themselves, remain safe, and respond to violence. Through this project, will help advance the field by establishing the level, intensity, prevalence, and frequency of technology-facilitated gender-based violence targeted at women with disabilities, and use this evidence to inform policy changes aimed at disability-inclusive response and prevention strategies. This project will also produce educational and advocacy resources for women with disabilities.
My name is Kim Tu Thị Trần. I'm a lecturer and researcher at University of Medicine and Pharmacy in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. Our project is called Sexual Misconduct Among High School Students in Vietnam. The focus of our research is to understand the experience of sexual misconduct among high school students in Vietnam. The research also explores students' perception of their school support regarding sexual misconduct and how the school respond to this problem. This will be the first study exploring sexual misconduct among high school students in Vietnam. This will help schools administrators, parents, and youth have a more precise understanding of sexual misconduct and raise their awareness to build strategies to protect their children. Our research has the potential to contribute to a meaningful change in both policy and practice, leading to safer and more effective environments for high school students in Vietnam and beyond.
Since 2014, the SVRI Grants Award has provided for more than $9 million across 89 research grants in 53 low and middle income countries. The 2024 cohort of studies will conduct research on critical areas and will further evidence on preventing and responding to violence against women and violence against children, and will be guided by ethical and survivor-centered approaches. These cohort of studies will increase our knowledge in the field globally and will be shared with communities, researchers, practitioners, policymakers, and governments to support change in lives of those affected by gender-based violence.